This is part of the largest and longest set of seawalls Japan has ever built. If you ask a Japanese person why these walls are being built so tall, every single person can tell you why. It all goes back to March 11th, 2011.
Tsunami が防潮堤を越えている。津波防潮堤を越えました。流れ込んでいます。先ほどまで街並みだったところが海になってしまっています。
When you see what happened on that day, it's quite easy to put together why Japan has had such a drastic response. A 400-kilometer concrete defense against the ocean. But is the solution so simple? Just build the seawalls higher and longer to stop this from ever happening again? The reality is layered with complexities. Along this stretch of coastline are dozens of communities, each with their own unique situation. For the people truly affected by this tragedy, it's not just a construction project, but a permanent change to their everyday lives. To understand the problem, we need to understand the wave that was formed on that day. No place in the world has more tsunamis than Japan. In fact, they already had some of the most robust infrastructure to handle these natural disasters. But it wasn't enough. The 2011 earthquake was of magnitude 9.1, the fourth largest earthquake in recorded history. Reports of the following tsunami height along the coast was between 8 to 12 meters, or 26 to 40 feet. After that wave, Japan came up with a new concept for classifying tsunamis: a level 1 tsunami and a level 2 tsunami. A level 1, or L1 tsunami, is expected to happen every few decades to over 100 years with flooding around 7 to 10 meters or less. While on the other hand, a level 2, or L2 tsunami, is expected every few hundred or 1,000 years, with flooding of 10 meters or more. This footage of the tsunami is from Miyako City in Iwate Prefecture. To put it into perspective, the sections of wall in this video are about 3 to 4 meters tall. Unfortunately, we can see it was not even close to being tall enough. This brings us to what the Japanese government decided was the best course of action: building a bigger wall. These new walls being built across all of northern Japan are being put into place for an obvious reason: to stop a tsunami. But they are not a perfect answer. In most places, they are being built around 12 meters tall, enough to stop an L1 tsunami. That is expected every few decades. But what about an L2 tsunami? A wall big enough to prepare for the worst L2 tsunami would be unreasonable for a few reasons. We can't just know the limits on what kind of tsunami could be created from an even bigger earthquake or some other cataclysmic level event. The cost to build and maintain would be exponentially more to even attempt to prepare for such a scenario. And just for a single event that is only theoretically possible every couple hundred to 1,000 years, it just doesn't make economic sense. Okay, so you might ask, why even build these walls if people aren't guaranteed to be safe? The new design of seawalls work in such a way that even if a wave goes over it, it will continue to provide resistance to any more water flowing in. This, combined with other methods like breakwaters and even organic solutions like walls of trees, provide extra protection. Along with proper evacuation procedures, training, and a robust early warning siren and notification system, all of these things together buy the most precious thing you can get in an emergency situation: time. Or at least that's the theory, because some experts suggest otherwise.
今後例えば50年ぐらい経ったらね、今回の東日本経験したことのない人が地元に住んだ時にね、目の前の津波防波堤を見た時に、こんな高い津波防波堤やったら大丈夫だなんて思っちゃう 危険性の方が大きいわけですよ。今はまだ10年だからみんな記憶に残ってる。50年経ってごらんなさい。みんなそんなもん誰も知らないですよ。まあそこが問題なんでね。だから基本はあの防波堤できても逃げるんですよ。
This is Mr. Takahashi. His hometown Ogatsu was completely destroyed by the tsunami. He is against the wall being built.
守るべきものもないのに作るってこと自体が嫌ですね。でかなりの人が出ていって残る人らは上に住むという中で、じゃあ何のために作るんですかと。
The areas affected by the tsunami are marked as disaster risk zones, so people are not allowed to even live there. He is pretty much the voice of the residents in his town. So together, they came up with an alternative plan. The plan suggested that they move the roads and residences to higher ground and not build a large seawall. With this plan, the townspeople could live the same way they have always lived, albeit just a little farther from the ocean. The key being they could still see the ocean instead of a constant concrete reminder of that day. The plan was scrapped shortly after. The cited reason was because moving the road to higher ground would not have been covered by the reconstruction budget from the Japanese government, but a seawall would be.
防潮堤の工事始まったら私は出ますと。ここのでね仕事させてもらってますが、それも捨てますと。もうそれが私の中の最大限の抵抗ですね。
Despite the setback, Mr. Takahashi didn't want to give up. Together with the townspeople, they proposed a new plan that suggested the new seawall to not be any taller than the old one, which was around 4 meters. The government insisted on building the wall to its full height, but they decided to meet with the townspeople for a final meeting. This is the 8th and final meeting from a total of 9 months of discussions with the government.
そんなね、100何億かけて無駄なことしてどうするんですかっていうことですよ。無駄です。明らかに無駄です。やめた方がいいです。やめてください。やめてください。あくまで。
先ほども言いましたが、引き続きいろいろと見え方とかですね。
俺は言いません。残念ながら。一番やっちゃダメなやり方。
A few months passed, and the plan was finalized for the construction of the seawall, and it began shortly after. The completed seawall now stretches over 3 kilometers, with a maximum height of almost 10 meters. The final cost was 120 billion yen, or about $1 billion US. Mr. Takahashi said he would leave if they built the wall, and has since moved to Iwakishi in Fukushima Prefecture.
ただどうでもいいですけどね。はっきり言ってどうでもいいです。もう自分のふるさとではないので、どうでもいいですよ。
After the decision was made, many wondered why. Why were the voices of townspeople not considered? If we take a look at the prefectural documents, we can see one reason. They believed that if they held a vote for the townspeople, they would surely lose, which would add delays to the construction plans. This is a city official that attended that final meeting.
住民の財産、あとは道路、その雄勝を訪れる人、そこを通過する人の安全も確保しなければなりませんし、何よりその雄勝のその先の集落がそこの道路が使えなくなれば分断してしまいますので、そういう道路は守らなければダメだという判断です。
Now, I'd like to tell the story of a different town. One that was also devastated in the 2011 tsunami. Rikuzen Takada. Before the disaster, Rikuzen Takada was a lively city of over 24,000 people. In the end, the tsunami took the lives of almost 1,800 people. These videos are from meetings a few months after the disaster.
球場でもサッカー場でもいうようなことをどんどん車が握れるような
私たちが一番大事なのは命です。動けなくても津波が来ても大丈夫なところにいたいんです。
一度浸水したところには住みたくありません。また逃げるのか、またあの財産が全部なくなるのかと、そういう思いに駆られます。
今度新しく家を建てたいと思われる方は何人おられるんでしょうか。
One by one, the people expressed their thoughts and concerns.
要するに初めから高台移転を前提として計画を作るべきではないでしょうか。
山を見立てたりなんかしてるんですが、全部こう移転するっていうのはなかなか難しいんではないかということで、低地部の活用も図らなければいけない。
Most of the townspeople wanted to relocate to higher ground. It just makes sense. Who would want to rebuild where something was just destroyed? There was a problem though. There wasn't enough high ground amongst the surrounding hills to relocate everybody.
皆様方のご意見はしっかりと受け止めさせていただいて、その中で
So in collaboration with the townspeople, they came together with a multi-part plan. The first step was to build a 2.5-kilometer seawall along the coast. After that, they would level the surrounding hills for homes. Lastly, they'll take the dirt from where they leveled and build the land up for more homes and businesses. From complete and total destruction, a vision was slowly formed. Hills were reshaped, turning obstacles into future opportunities. A seawall was completed, a symbol against future tragedies while remembering the past. As houses and businesses sprung up from the elevated land, there was a palpable sense of hope. The years passed by, with residents living and working in temporary setups, always waiting hopefully. And just like that, the wait was over. After 10 years, the new Rikazintakata was reborn from nothing. But not everyone came back. Some had moved on, seeking new beginnings elsewhere. Yet, the heartbeat of Rikazintakata persisted. From a pre-tsunami population of around 24,000, as of 2021, almost 18,000 resilient souls still call Rikazintakata home. The story of Japan's seawalls is not just one of engineering marvels, but of human resilience, memory, and the constant balance between safety and the quality of life. It's a lesson for the world. As we face more challenges in our lives today, decisions won't be just about how high or long we can build our defenses, but how we can listen and incorporate the wishes, memories, and dreams of those who call these threatened places home. In our world's uncertain future, may we always remember that while walls can provide protection, it's the hearts and the stories of the people behind them that truly matter.